Right, so last video I was fitting the body kit. I can't remember if I showed you around it. So I'll do that in a sec. So yeah, the kit's all on. Seeing that I didn't have the body kit here when we fitted the front end, it actually all fits really well. All the repairs I've done are all okay. Rubber strips is all fine. So yeah, I'm very happy with how the kit's gone on. Yeah, so I'll show you that in a sec. You'll see the engine, the bonnet's on. I have taken it for a drive. I've got a little track here that I can drive up and down. So I've had a few issues. First one being, so you probably remember I had some issues with the castle nuts on the front hubs, not tightening up correctly, which I always thought was odd. So I took it out that way at the garage, and as I drove round on full lock and then straightened up, the drive shaft popped out. So obviously backed it back in, stripped all that side down. I honestly thought that I'd pushed that CV joint on the hub onto the CV joint. Sorry, the CV joint onto the drive shaft, and I'm 99% sure it was clipped in, but clearly it wasn't. It just needed that little bit of extra push. So I sorted that out, took it out again. I went that direction this time, and guess what? This side popped out. So back in I come, stripped that all down. Circlip was on there, everything seemed fine. It just probably, that little bit, extra bit. So I also split the CV boot. So I had to change that. So then I put it back on, give it a good whack. It seemed to locate properly. Give it a little tug, didn't seem to come off. Lucy come in to talk about something, and then I held the drive shaft, pulled the CV joint, and off it popped. So clearly, I just wasn't locating it properly. So I gave it a shove again, and then gave it a tug, and it didn't come off this time. So I've since rebuilt everything, taken it for a drive up and down the track, and nothing has popped out at the moment. So fingers crossed on that. But funny enough, when I put the castle nuts on, the front hubs, they actually did up to pretty much to the 260 Newton spec for torquing, and then it was much better when it was, so I only had to go a little bit more to locate it, to put the split pin in. So clearly they weren't in, and that was what was causing the castle nuts not to do up properly to the right specification. So that seems better now. So Keith mentioned in a previous video and to me that one of the ball joints seemed a bit stiff. So while I had the hub off, I tried that, and it was actually a bit stiff. So off that came. I re-shimmed, or I got a new one just in case, or I had a spare one. I shimmed that, so that was a lot better. Checked all the other three, they were all fine anyway. So yeah, so that's all back on now. So when I took it for a drive, it was coughing and spluttering. Seemed like a fuel issue. Drove it down the road, wouldn't really come out of first gear. As soon as you go in second, it was just like a kangaroo. So so there was definitely a fueling issue. Now, obviously the old carb I took off. I actually found a replacement new old stock carb. Stupidly, I didn't do anything with that. I just effectively bolted it on. In hindsight, 30-year-old carb, new old stock maybe, but it's 30 years old. Probably needed a reconditioned refurb kit done to it. I've effectively sent that off. I've got another one coming that's been fully refurbed, including the manifold. And also the dash pot was leaking the oil into the carb, so I filled the dash pot up one night. I come and checked it in the morning and all the oil had gone out of the dash pot, so that new old stock carb, there was obviously something wrong with the dash pot chamber as well. So yeah, I've got a new one coming Monday. It's been completely stripped down and refurbed, new polished housing, new manifold or refurbed manifold. So yeah, that comes Monday, so I can put it on Monday and give it a go. Keith did say to put the old carb on. Try that, because the old carb was working prior to me stripping the car down. But those that know about stripping ERAs down, to get the carb off is a complete pain in the backside. You have to undo loads of pipe work, all the top engine steadies, the manifold, all of the manifold bolts and so on. And I just thought, although the old carb probably would have worked, and I don't know if that's the issue at the moment, but it seems that way. Take the old carb off, the old carb back on. Yeah, that works fine. Take that off again, get them both refurbed. I just cut out the middleman, and so it's time, and I don't need the hassle. So I've got a new one coming Monday. I'll fit that and hopefully it'll all be alright. So that's why the engine looks like it's in pieces at the moment. While it's been off, I have had a couple of drips of oil and water coming on the floor, which I don't like. So while this is off, I've checked all the connections that I can get to back here. There was the rocker cover gasket wasn't fully sealed over this end, and so yeah, I've checked everything, and hopefully we may have a leak-free Mini. Hopefully. So that's that. I'll just show you around the kit. I don't want to roll the car out because it's raining at the moment, so you may not get a good look at the back, but it's obviously it needs a polish. Got a bit of dirty hands on it. Lucy's just taking it easy here. Yeah, so I've used red pop rivets to secure it to the arches, and little flange head screws just to secure it to the seal. Obviously I did put lots of cavity wax stuff behind there. What's that rubbing on? What's that rubbing at all? Yeah, lots of cavity wax behind there, so it shouldn't rust, because that was a weak point. When I took all the kit off, there was all rust holes in there. So yeah, so kit looks very well. I'll show you around the front. Obviously I have put the number plate on because I had to take it just down the road. It is insured. Yeah. Same on this side. Yeah, all fits nicely. And then I'll just squeeze over to the back. Fog lights look good. Exhaust is a bit off centre, but there's nothing I can do about that. I can't actually get any movement with that. It's scratched the paint there. That's how it was when it come off, but ideally I wanted to push that over, but I'll give it another go. But obviously there was a hole here for the tow bar, which I think that's quite a good repair actually. Quite pleased with that. So I mean, all I've got to do on the boot is obviously number plate, mini badge, ERA badge, and that's it on the back really. So next job, obviously these are the old door cards. When Dave had them retrimmed a few years ago, he couldn't find the original material, so it's gone for this sort of grey cord stuff, which is as close as he could get. I've just got a bit of carpet on the bottom, and then obviously leather through the top, with this piping and loop detail. So we spent, we had a good hunt for the fabric. Come up with 2 samples. One was from Italy, one was in this country. The one in this country sample wasn't great. It was really creamy, wrong texture and so on. And then we found this. I think that is the closest that anyone will get to the original cloth. And comparing it to the cloth that Mark gave me as a sample from one of his seats, I'd say it was a 95% match. Obviously this come from Italy, so the delay has been, Italy went into lockdown for COVID a couple of weeks before us, and then there was delays getting it from Italy once they opened up, getting it over to here and so on. So been a huge delay on them, but all things considered, I am very happy with them. Obviously this part of the thing hasn't got carpet because it sits down behind the door bins or rear bins. So yeah, today's job will be to get them on. I've got the seat belts for the front now, which I can then obviously put on. So I've got to take the rear back seat out, the 2 rear bins, to get the seat belts and the door cards in. I've got the plastic to go over here. I'm just going to check all the runners and locks, make sure everything's greased up properly before I put the plastic on. I've actually got new plastic for these, which you can get from Mini Sport, I think. So that will pretty much complete the inside of the car. All seats are in. Yeah, so the only issue I've got is the interior light. It needs a clean around that, but every time I push that light in, it's earthing on something and the light stays on. So need to sort that out. And something else I've fitted, don't know if you can see that. I know it's not standard, but this is one of Minivation's phone holders. The ashtray comes out, this goes in its place, and then so I don't like the ones that grip, so I prefer the ones with the magnet on them. So yeah, obviously it's perfect for me. Here we go, all hands free, lovely. Yeah, so I'll get the rear seat out, get the door, that's still a bit stiff, get the rear bins out and then get on. Right, so that was a bit of a nightmare. So yeah, everything's in. Battery went out on the camera, and yeah, the seat belts I bought had the wrong connection for the seatbelt holster thing. So I've had to revert to some older ones. I'll have to look for some new ones, to be honest. I'm not overly happy with them. Door cards went in okay. I'll show you a quick look around and I'll get on with the front door cards. You can see in there, we've got the little supports in there. They're all fixed on. The carpets need a bit of a hoover. Keep fluffing up because they're new. But yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, that pretty much completes the interior. Just needs a hoover, a few bits and pieces, just tidying up. I'm really happy with that. I think that's the closest match anyone's ever going to get to the original. Yeah, I'm glad I went full leather. Obviously some of the dash bits have got to come out and go back to the upholsterer through the winter, but I'm going to enjoy the car for now. So yeah, it's all seat belts are in for now. So next jobs are going to be the boot. So there's a carpet goes on the back, which I've got. Carpet goes over the tank. I think there's a carpet that goes over the wheel arch. And then I've also got this, which has got the rear washer bottle on it, which I'm going to recover. I may do that in leather. I've also got the boot lid cover to do, which again I may do in leather. It's obviously going to, the carpet's quite thick, so I don't think the carpet is going to fold around that. Obviously I've got a boot board to do this to go on, which covers the rear wiper. Obviously got the bonnet insulation to go on. Again, that's part of the boot. That's the boot board, but it's only hardboard, so I might get some 6 or 9 mil MDF and make a new one and then cover that. But again, I've got the same problem. You see how thick the carpet is. I don't think it's going to fold around these edges. I'll give it a go on something. So that's for the back of the seat, so that can go in. And then I've got to do the grille, put the black bits back on the new grille. It's actually a new old stock grille, that you can see that right. Obviously ERA badge, and then obviously on the boot I've also got to do the number plate, the mini badge. I think I mentioned this in a previous recording. ERA badge. Yeah, I think that's almost it. I think still got oil leaking, so I just need to find out where that's leaking from.